We're looking at the HK45 CT in this episode of Airsoftology Reviews. So this is the HK45 CT, and that stands for Compact Tactical. And this is a smaller, I would say, not little brother, but kind of big cousin of the HK45, which happens to be one of my favorite pistols in size, feel, and function in the real world. Actually, real world, and it's in the airsoft world as well. So this one kind of fits in this mid-range, almost compact, but not quite category. And we're gonna find out together if this thing fits in one, the other, or kind of does the best of both. So the HK45C externally takes a lot of its markings and features and functionality from the HK45, but also mixes in some functionality and features and design form from other pistols in the HK lineup and even outside of it. So we're gonna kind of talk about the build quality, some of the things that are going on here before we get into actually performance, what's going on under the hood, and there's also a pretty big thing that I like. It's a huge change for a VFC made gun here. All right, so starting with the slide, we are looking at metal. We're looking at full metal slide on this. We're also looking at a full metal outer barrel on it. So on that, you're gonna get a positive lock. Also, you do have an O-ring here around the inner barrel to where it mates up with the slide. So you're gonna get that nice, smooth lock and no real play or wobble in there. It's one of those features you're starting to see in a lot of pistols just to help everything seal together. Because this is that T version, that 45 CT, you're getting threaded barrel. Now keep in mind, this is not 14mm counterclockwise, so if you want to do that, this is to a 45, you're going to need to get that thread adapter, which is the same one that actually works on the HK45 or any of the larger thread barrels like a USP. And just like the USP, we're looking at a lot of features that were brought from the USP Compact and hybrid kind of mix with the HK45, and that's where you're gonna see the styling here on the lower. It does have a different texture, different grip, and gone are the finger grooves that you're gonna find on the HK45, but you do get interchangeable back straps. It does come with two versions, a medium in the box and this one that's on here now, so you can change them out depending on the size of your hand and comfort level. And since we're talking about the lower, we're gonna move on forward around this oversized trigger guard, plenty of room for if you're using gloves in the wintertime, and you do get three little spaces here of rail, which is standard Picatinny, put your lights or lasers on to use whenever you like. Sights are standard white dot, one in the front, two in the back. And controls here. This is where things are happy news for you lefties or righties. Everybody gets a good fun time. Everything is fully ambi. So if you see it on this side, it's on the other side as well. So we do have the safety. So flip this up for safe, flip that down to like for fire. And since the hammer's back right now, push it all the way around down and you get a decock, which is nice so you don't accidentally bump the trigger in kind of more of that hammer back hair trigger mode. Also, slide lock works on both sides. You can lock it back and you've got the slide lock over here or on this side, and it'll go forward. So do have ambi there as well. And to round it out, mag release is down here by the trigger guard, just like on the HK45. Lefty or righty, you just kind of press it down. It is oversized and actually really easy to get to. I thought it would be kind of hard considering I'm used to like buttons, but you end up using the opposite finger. So on most pistols, you're gonna use your thumb to drop the magazine. This one, you're gonna use your pointer finger. So you come right off the trigger, drop it, and you're good to go. Speaking of magazines, we are looking at 22 rounds here, so it's a little shorter, so it's not as long, but because this is a really fat mag to mimic the 45, you get a ton of gas space in this reservoir. So you have plenty of shots from start to finish with very low power drop. And we're gonna see that in chrono section in a second. But there is one more thing I want to talk about here in the build quality of the gun that's gonna really be a game changer, hopefully for times to come. Looking at the slide 2, we did talk about that. You do get the trademarks, fully licensed trademarks from Umarex down here on the side. HK45C with the 45 auto, also the HK markings on the barrel, and of course everything you need. Depending on the marking you're going to be selling this in, you're going to find that big wall of white text or not. So if it's going to be the Asian or the European release, a little less white text on here. If you're going to be looking at North America when it drops, probably a bigger wall of text for that licensing block. All right, so now that thing I've been teasing the whole time, this is good news. In the box with that strap, the magazine, the pistol, you get this little bitty tool looking thing right here. And this is neat because, and you don't really need it to do what I'm doing. Right here, which is the spring guide, which is below the barrel, there's a, it has a little kind of slot in it. This is now your hop-up adjustment for this pistol. They're using a brand new hop-up system in here, and they've redesigned it to be different than the Marui system, which is kind of the common system where it has like a bar that goes around the side and pulls it down. Over time, those have a tendency to bend and put unequal pressure on the BB and cause BBs maybe to hook off to the side. If you guys have ever had a pistol where you're like, Why are the BBs flying off to the side? It's kind of the design, the nature of it. They've redesigned the hop up where you get full pressure on the top pulling down, so there's no chance of it bending, where you get that uneven side pressure, everything's equal. But now they moved the adjuster to the outside of the gun. So when you actually use this tool or any flathead screwdriver, or if you want to lock this back and actually get to it, you can use a penny or a small coin, whatever country you live in, that should be a thinner one. So like that, you can actually make the adjustment. You don't have to have the slide lock back. You can have it forward. You can just put the tool down in there in the slot and you can adjust left and right for your hop up. So you can make the adjustment, take a shot, put it back in and do that. I thought that was fantastic. No, gone are the days of having to take it, pull the slide off, get everything off, turn the wheel a little bit, put it back together and start shooting. They have resolved that and I'm really happy about it. And actually, honestly, in our performance test and shooting accuracy, the hop up performs very well. All right, last but not least, I want to show you this tool. One more thing. It actually has a secondary lockout safety in here in the grip. You actually put it in here, twist it, and it will lock out the gun so you can't even pull the trigger back. It won't let the hammer even go to the rear position, which is a neat little touch as well, something I didn't even know existed. Taking us to the chrono, we're seeing the numbers you'd normally see on a pistol here. They are in meters per second, so in the corner you're gonna see that FPS change, the conversion for you. This is in semi-auto using 0.20 gram BBs, and of course, it wouldn't be a review or a test since I had access to a range to give you guys some gratuitous fire downrange to show you guys how it shoots and a little bit of the accuracy as well to show you BBs on target. So that's it. That is the HK45 CT pistol. It's gonna be dropping this year, 2017, depending on when you're watching this review. It should be out or coming out in your market, depending on the areas. Some countries will get this sooner than others. I know North America will be a little delayed beyond the rest of the world. I think Asia, we're looking at mid-2017. We might see North America on a little bit later date as well, depending on some tests and changes there. Also, pricing, we are looking, it's gonna be variable by country, of course, depending where you live. I do know we're gonna be looking around the mid-100s, around $145, $150, potentially in North America, in the United States, specifically in US dollars. And again, just check with your favorite local or online retailer in your market to find out how much this pistol is gonna cost when it hits your country.